What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob. And boy, do I have some news for you. 3 stories have come to my attention. I want to share them. So let's put that little Noob news in the corner, and let's get to it. Now, the first story that has come to my attention is James Gunn is back in directing Guardians of the Galaxy #3. Yes, folks, that means Disney came crawling back to Papa Gunn. Now, you might remember a few months ago, some of those very special social justice warriors decided to go 10 years back in his tweets to find something they didn't like. And boo-hoo, cry, they whined about it. Disney, being the people who don't want to risk losing a buck, decided to let James Gunn go. But they kept his script, and we're going to use it in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But Disney did not realize the power that James Gunn has. First of all, most of the directors that they tried to hire afterwards said, no thanks, man, you're using his script and it just don't feel right. The second thing they noticed was fans were in an uproar. We loved the work he did on the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy, and we were not going to let that shit slide. The third thing that they came to realize was the actors were starting to feel uncomfortable filming this thing. You had people like Dave Bautista, Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, and many more who were saying that they don't like the fact that they let James Gunn go but kept his script. Now, I'm sorry, you don't go against a moneymaker like Chris Pratt. If he says he's uncomfortable doing something, you put your mind to it. But the thing that I kind of have heard is because the sales of Captain Marvel haven't been doing well, and let's face it, the fan reaction to Aladdin has pretty much made Disney come around and realize that maybe they need to listen to the fans. Now, I personally would love to see the conditions that James Gunn put down, because the only thing we know of right now is they pushed back the date of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because James Gunn is right now working on Suicide Squad, the remake, reboot, whatever it is. At least that's from what I've heard. So they are actually accommodating him. And let's face it, if I was James Gunn, I would have some stipulations. You know, a little more money, get down on your knees and perform seppuku, an apology, suck my one of those. So, at least we know Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is back in the proper hands. Now, story number 2. This one is a little more on the geek nerd side. Neil deGrasse Tyson is back on the air. Now, if you didn't pay attention, back in November, a couple ladies came forth saying, oh no, he was doing naughty things while we worked for him. Now, Fox and National Geographic decided to pause his shows while he was under this sexual misconduct investigation, which Neil deGrasse Tyson said, bring it on, I didn't do crap. That happened back in November. It is now March, and now the shows are coming back on air. Now, there isn't a lot of details out there, but knowing that it's National Geographic's and Fox alone, they're letting the shows continue, which means I'm betting that the evidence really wasn't showing up. Now, I've watched Neil deGrasse Tyson for quite a long time. He is basically the meme black science guy. I know that's how I started understanding him, but I've watched his shows. I've watched Cosmo on YouTube. I watch, what is it called? Star Talk. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart, but Star Talk, where he's usually talking with other scientists, and it's usually topics, and some of them are kind of geeky, like how can we actually figure out light speed drive like they do in Star Trek, but these are things I actually enjoyed listening to. Now, it's been off the air for a while, but now they're back. In fact, I've seen 2 little episodes on YouTube of Star Talk, so I cannot wait to see more of this. And let's face it, it kind of was convenient that these ladies came out to complain right around the time that he had 2 shows going on, he had podcasts, he had book signings. In other words, he was making money, and suddenly people were showing up. Now, I'm not saying these ladies were lying. I'm just saying it seems a little convenient that when the money was rolling in, that, oh no, he may have touched my shoulder wrong. Now the third story. I found it quite amusing and I figured I had to share it. This comes from across the pond over in the UK. Aldi's has teamed up with pro gamers to get your kids to stop playing games and go down and eat dinner. Now apparently the article states that 38% of children in the UK refuse to sit down and eat dinner with their family. They would rather be online and playing the game. So Aldi's, during this little, I'm going to call it a PR stunt, are teaming up with gamers, pro gamers, where the parents can contact Aldi and these pro gamers will join the games that the kids are at and basically brutally murder them in game until they rage quit off. Now, I both like and dislike this thing. Now, what I like about this is, great, let pro gamers get on here and knock those little shits off the game. But the thing I'm not liking is the parents aren't doing their job. Folks, I'm a big avid believer that a parent is a parent, not a friend. That's how I grew up. My dad was cool, but he would whoop my ass and take me out of this world if need be. And that is how parents should be nowadays. No more of this specialty stuff. When it comes to kids and gaming, I have 3 questions that parents need to answer. Who bought the system? Who bought the game? Who pays for the Wi-Fi? If any 3 of those answers are the parent does, that's what you control. You don't want them on the system? Take away the power source. Don't want them on the game? Don't buy the game or take the game away. Don't want them online? Hey, you got a Wi-Fi. Guess what you could do? Put a password on it. Guess what? They ain't got the password. They can't play Fortnite. This thing is good, but bad at the same time because I fear this is going to be a crutch for parents. The parents that go, oh my God, I don't know what to do with little Timmy. Whatever will I do? First of all, stop buying him the latest system. Second of all, the answer is no. And third of all, let him bitch and whine. Video games are not a right. They are a privilege. For any parent that says that they can't control their kids when it comes to video games is full of shit. You don't like it when they're off to school? You go in and you rip that computer out. You take it off, you stick it in the garage, and when they come in and complain, you go, hey, I bought it, it's mine. And when they go, no, it's mine, you go, I don't think so. And in fact, if they're still going to be whiny and all that, and you really don't think you want to take it, there's something called a factory reset. And I guarantee you, you reset that thing back to basics and don't let them download a game. Folks, these are just 3 stories that caught my eye over the weekend that I felt I needed to share. 1, the James Gunn. That was no surprise. I knew Disney would crawl back eventually. 2, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I was never worried. That man is probably the nicest person, no matter who talks about him. You never hear anything bad, so I knew he was going to be back. And 3, Aldi's. I love you. I shop you a lot, but don't do the parents' job. Let the parents do it themselves. Anyways, folks, this was just a little episode I wanted to do. I'll catch y'all next time. See ya.